Hey there YouTube, and welcome to my video on quadratic equations. Now, quadratic equations is an expression which adds up to 0. So you can see 8x squared plus 12x squared plus 36 equals 0. So if you try and work these out using the normal algebraic methods, you will not get an answer. And the reason is because there are two answers. You may ask them, well, how can you have two answers? Surely one of them is right, one of them is wrong. Well, let me show you this. It's not going to be the best drawing in the world, but take this line here. When y is at a certain point, because we're assuming y is at a certain number, look, you have two answers here. And you have two answers. This is basically the way of demonstrating why quadratic equations have two answers. And when you get the two answers, you have to pick the most logical answer when you're solving a problem. Like, say you're solving a problem for the length of a side, and you get a minus number. Well, that's impossible. You have to pick the positive one. But anyway, how do you solve this? Well, essentially you split it up. So you have A section, the B section, and the C section. And well, let me just draw this. Write this out again. Next step, 12x 26. So first of all, we have to factorise it. We factorise it down as plus can be a plus or minus. I'm telling you that the answer is going to involve a plus for this example. But what we have to do is we get the x squared here, and these two numbers here, the B section and the C section, you have to try and find two answers which fit the pattern. And the pattern is that the two numbers add together to give you B, and they have to multiply together to give you C. So, say I had 4 and 3. I picked the two numbers 4 and 3. They add together to give you 7, and they multiply together to give you 12. And that doesn't fit. Now what two numbers add together to give you 12 and multiply together to give you 36? It's 6. X adds 6, multiplied by x adds 6, and essentially that equals 0. So using this, you can then say, you just take one of these sections. You'll eventually take both of them, but you'll take them individually, and you can safely say that one of these sections equals 0. So using our normal algebraic method, we can work backwards to find the value of x. So you just do x, you take away 6, so x equals minus 6. Now you have your answer. Now you do the same for this section here. It's exactly the same. X equals minus 6. More often than not, you'll get two different answers for x. I'll just pause the video a sec. Okay, so I'm back now. So essentially what you do is you just have to use your knowledge to find out two numbers which add together to give you B and multiply together to give you C. So using this logic, let's try and work this out. So two numbers which add up together to give you 5 and multiply together to give you 6. Well, 2 and 3 does that quite easily. So x at 2 multiplied by x plus 3 equals 0. Sometimes you'll get a minus number, so if they multiply together to give you a negative number, one of these will have to be a minus number, because a positive times a negative will give you a negative number. So anyway, now we've got these, now I've factorised it, we can use this to work out what x is. So x add 2 equals 0, and x add 3 equals 0. Now you can see here, this example, we are going to get two different answers for our sum. So we get x equals minus 2 and x equals minus 3. Now note, this method does not work for all quadratic equations. These are the simple quadratic equations, and I'll be making future videos on the quadratic formula and completing the square. I'm going to include completing the square in my next video, so be sure to subscribe, and please like this video if it helped you with your maths, and please leave some feedback so I know how to improve my videos. Thank you for watching. This was YouTube School 101.